Hey, hey, hey. All my exes want a house in Texas, yeah. All my exes make it happen, rather than fake stretching. I'm in places you vacate, I fulfill as my destiny. Guardian of the East, looking west. Say my cook for best, ain't around the sheep. Narcoleptic beasts, act as if they slept. Walk around like sleep, I can see beneath. Service tension, I write H2O to young this on a dream. Hey, really I got presence, really I got pace. Really I got methods, met upon late stretches, stretch upon my face. Hey, really why I'm gorgeous, live with inner orgies. Hold a 10 of swords, I can't be living porcelain. I'm way too important by my faith. Really I ain't trying to save anybody for anybody, because anybody should've won my space. Spinning out of my denim models, I'm finna pride along with my day. Many men should've wolf for faith. Feel again, all this shit J. On the stars, how to reach my gates. God, I'm grounded on my feet. Lily came back knocking, I ain't in adultery. Really I would like to share, but that's a solid feast. So I meet her ass with silence, same way I sounded to me. While I live on my island, men and God is planning peace. I focus on my cues, so ain't no question where I be. I focus on my bills, so I'm not passing about no fee. My water is pristine, okay. She wallow just with me, okay. Swallow your deceit, okay. Water just your seed, hold space for blossoms, no opossum. Gossip gon' get back to me today. I got two lips, moving fumes and turn my heart with much to say. This time I'ma listen, they say peace. Guardian of the East, looking west. Ain't no book to test, ain't around the sheep. Not collective beats, act as if they slept. Walk around and sleep, I can see beneath. Surface tension, I rock H2O, the youngest son of dream. Only Steve.
Really got killers under the sun. They shoot for me, but need no gun. I say the word is already done. Turn your 10 of cups to a 1. Pour your soul in a goblet. Got your chick still goblin. Must be hooked like phonics. Yeah, I'm the creator, but ain't no goblin. Got that Aldebaran flow. If you didn't know, I rock with Gabe, I rock with Raph and Uriel, cause they're my folks. Demon slaying, putting devils in their place on the low. Keep my head up high, getting high with weed about with my dough. I got space and I got time, you got your life, your soul is mine. I don't practice Santeria, but everything I do sublime. I don't have any crystal balls, but you can suck my own. Still renting apartments, almost 40, but still ain't bought no home. All these damn distractions while my focus, but I'm still in my zone. Know that I should grow up and do better, but I just want some dome. Don't keep no one around me, never lonely, even when I'm alone. Make shit from the heart, I take it everywhere, cause that's my home. I'm the
Guardian of the East, looking west. Ain't no booty test, narcoleptic sheep. Walk around, look sleep, claiming that we slept. I've been in my dreams, I've been in my seas, in my depths. Try to bring my home everywhere I step. As the Guardian of the East, look west. Guardians of the East, look west. Ain't no booty test. Hey, 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 hey.
round eye, that. All that bullshit you been talking about, that. Hit us up, get hit back with the get back. And my cats don't miss, dog, you get that. When I come around that talk, I that. All that bullshit you been talking about, that. Hear it on the track, you can bet that I meant that. Nigga try me, you can bet he regret that, bitch. Kick in the dough, fofo grip. I ain't talking about guns, but I got that switch. Say you got money, but you not that rich. Say you so ill, but you not that sick. Hot dogs I be killing, but I'm not Mike Vick. Cool cat chillin' with a really big dick. Said she coming in, I'm like, underlay. You ain't talking money, then you gotta go that away. 2017, I was riding around Mandalay. Right before Paddock dropped 60 to suicide. I was riding past Crenshaw when Nip died. Posted a pic of Prince and wait on it next day. His body back up getting zip tied. Say I ain't death in the flesh, then you just lied. Said I couldn't do this from the start. Now I channel the divine and they call me all the time. Got money on my line like life goes. Spit like codes. Like how he turn his dreams to reality like that with his eyes closed. Kill the whole game with a blindfold. No chains on my neck, still ice cold. No, way too much, so old. Still rocking out with the ones that I came with. Flying so high, zooming off in my spaceship, bitch.
I don't like niggas, you know? I agree with you. I don't want to talk to niggas. Cause niggas be fake, they be corny. And I'm not into that, bro. Cause I'm really like that. Like, do some funny shit, I might just get at you. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't believe in your excellence. They saying Mitchell is really incredulous. I had to get rid of all them impediments. They was on extra shit, they wasn't nothing but excrements. Boy, ain't no time for no woe. It's me if you know, it's you and you owe with me. Cold as can be, frost spitting little niggas gon' come with them heaters and triggers. Beating the nigga, now he got bruises and scratches and bridges. Now he finna get hit with something relentless. And this shit paving the way for the trenches. Now I gotta get away from that life and make way for a living. I'm showing love to the people that's hating on me but be praising a nigga. I dreaded the ops, it was never the ops, it was really the cops that was playing with niggas. You know who really got ops in the field, whoever making a killing. And you know who really got options for real, and that's whoever making a million. A prince got his principles, but it's the king who gon' have to go make him a thriller. Nigga.
Everybody has a natural gift, but then you go outside and you get influenced and you feel pressure from what's going on outside. And so, you know, I read one time, like, would you rather be at war with yourself and at peace with the world, or at peace with yourself and at war with the world?
When I come around, that. All that bullshit you been talking about, that. Hit us up, get hit back with the get back. And my cats don't miss, dog, you get that. When I come around, that talk, that. All that bullshit you been talking about, that. Hear it on the track, you can bet that I meant that. Nigga try me, you can bet he regret that, bitch. Yeah. Okay. What? Look. I don't know why they lying. Yapping on the track, I don't know why they trying. Kill them all like I don't know how they dying. Like I do yet I don't, but I know why they crying.
I don't know why they eyeing the prize when they ain't live enough. I don't know why they hating on mine instead of liking us. I don't know why they aiming for mine, me while I line them up. I don't know why they taking their time, I made them bite the dust.
Yell cut, then I kick them out the set. I don't know why they think getting checks get respect. I don't know if they know they soul racking up debt. Me and Casto some reapers, we here to collect.
Now I don't know why they ain't paying up. Paper cut, loose leaf wage, looking Asian. I don't know the life they making up. 6 feet facing up, mask on facing us. Don't know if you pray, but today's a day you may adjust.
Even if you don't, make it meet you, make it quick. Make you a believer too, bet the truth make you sick.
See the poison, take your pick, dangerously aim to rip. Boondock Saints, only action, never waste the clips.
No, they don't know me, if they did, they know I'm blowing up. Don't know what I'm doing, but I know I'm always showing up. Rapping in my 30s, people think I'm too old. Got that Peter Pan flow, it's only money that I'm growing up.
Folding up, never meet the Holy Ghost pleasure. Don't know who you thought I was, don't you know better? I don't know why I even bother with the bull. Rhino between the horns, now they gossiping to prove.
See, they talk a lot, walking what they don't do. Bet we walk what we talk, you could call it living proof.
Why y'all getting ridiculed, lil dudes? I don't know the difference, what's a giant making lil moves?
Yeah, I know, you know that, I know I'm the shit. Ayy, I know, you know that, everybody on my
I know you thought I was froze, I know you thought I was cold. I know you thought it, but no, oh no, I'm on the go. Oh no, I'm on the go.
Look, you know, I know that, you been talking shit. Baby, you know, I know that, you can get the
I know you thought I was froze, I know you thought I was cold. I know you thought it, but no, oh no, I'm on the go. Good luck with finding your soul. Where your soul at? Where your home at? Where your heart and mind would grow at? Where'd you throw that? Where you going? You don't know that? Where you thrown at? Where your king? She a throwback? Where the gold at?
What's the word? What's the sitch? What it's hitting for? What's the deal? God hitters, me they hitting for. What it do? Drop bars, no liquor store. This ain't what you want, but it's everything you want and more. Had to let you know.
Why you doubting? Why you pouting? Why baby in the corner shouting? Why you allowing people to guide you, now overcrowding? Why won't you exit? Why blow your blessing? Why the questions? Why even stress it? Why don't you get it?
When you gonna see the big picture? When you gonna realize all my word scripture? It was written. When we gonna see what we could be? Evolution. When we gonna see the people free? Revolution.
How you gonna be free when your mind is trapped? How you gonna find your peace and don't align with that?
How you acting like you don't know? How you gain the whole world but you sold your soul? Gotta let you go.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your full moon in Cancer ceremony. This is the peace dealer on this glorious 13th. And I didn't time it like this on purpose, but we are exactly in full moon range. We are an exact 180 degrees from the moon and the sun right now. Which, yeah, congratulations, y'all. We are right in the climax. And I've appropriately titled this Feeling Your Awakened Godly Power, which we've spent since 2008 awakening. And also, which now that Pluto is in Aquarius, will prepare us for a much more supernatural quality through Aquarius of this collective process. Furthermore, the moon will be transiting the Mars. All right. So, with that being said, there is a very powerful activation of this feeling that you will not only deeply understand, and deeply feel, but as we finish out of Capricorn season, this is going to be you harvesting not only original power you've unlocked since March, April, and harvested since September, October, but will be actively feeling what you have sowed 2 weeks ago. And now over the next week, you will be reaping. All right. Shout out to those of you on Instagram and YouTube watching live. Certain themes I do want to talk about, but if you did catch the new moon ceremony 2 weeks ago, you know that we all made a decision, and we basically aligned and maintained that decision and intention, and now we're harvesting that intention. There really isn't even any like ceremony or ritual that we have to do, especially for full moon ceremonies where we're now releasing the intention that we had. I'm just going to really go over the next 2 weeks, which are epic. The next week alone is going to bring in the conjunction with Sun Pluto, which is a ticking time bomb. I really like that the inauguration, the presidential inauguration, actually falls in on the first day of Aquarius season, which is going to be marked with this Plutonian, of course, conjunction. So, yeah, I definitely do want to talk a little bit about, embracing your power with patience. That's a really good point. Given that there's a universal sense of power within your own individuality, which, it could take a whole lifetime to get to really understand yourself. Not to say that you have to wait your whole life to actually do this, but the patience you really take with yourself and not necessarily compare yourself with other people's time cycles and timelines in a society that tricks you into believing that a psychological sense of time actually has any authority or bearing over you, as you may be tempted to run in a hamster wheel. This most definitely is a chapter of taking more of your power back and feeling how personally and individually you can now, from Cancer, approach the collective, right? The sun in Capricorn is our collective awareness. The moon in Cancer is your own individual feeling. So how do you individually feel relative to this development of godly power, this integral awareness, right? That's organizing your consciousness. So the first thing I want you to think of while I do some lotion magic real quick is, of course, recap the past 2 weeks. What did you decide over the past couple of weeks? What did you begin to integrate as those seeds broke through the ground? Really think about that. Not that kind of lotion magic. I just had to use some basic lotion magic on my hands. I seen the ash. Okay. Yeah, y'all. So Isabella, thank you very much. This hamster will probably throw your ass off of it if you get too forceful about it. You know, ash magic, baby. So here's the thing, right? In a week from now, we're going to kick off a cycle that's been 248 years in the making. And then in a month from then, we're going to conclude a Neptune cycle that hasn't been in Pisces since the 1800s. Okay. So it's that big a deal. Everything that's going to happen over the next 2 weeks to like another month and a half is not only such a big deal because of what we're stepping into, but mainly because of this next era that we're going to activate. I want to actually bring your attention to 6 months from now. 6 months from now, and as you can see, we will sneak peek the new era. We're going to have Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus in Gemini, and Saturn and Neptune in Aries. All right. I want to give you guys perspective of what the year ahead looks like so that you can use this analogy to come to your own conclusions. And I'm going to use an analogy that my spirit and I came up with last night as we were just, psychotically heckling each other and just, talking to ourselves like we always do. But it was a very funny and fun analogy. Okay. So basically, first of all, as you can see, we have Uranus 0 degrees, Saturn and Neptune in Aries. The way to look at this year, right, is we are breaking into a new era. If you think that reality is an MMORPG, yes, it's online and it may or may not be in a server. But if you think that this is a role-playing game that you can recruit party members, you can level up, you can equip items, you can change your class if you want to be a mage or a warrior. This is one of the best fully integrated RPGs I've ever been, experiencing. And maybe your brain is a invisible wireless cord to your higher self that's playing this game of life with you. I mean, life is not a game, bitch. It is. Anyway, other than that, it's one of the best games ever. All right, my bad. The moderators will be mad. But yeah, if we look at it like that, what's about to happen is certain of you are going to be tested. Calling in Aquarius, Aries, and Gemini. I'm going to do a separate video talking about this, and it's not limited to these signs, but Gemini, you're going to be beta testing this new game. Aquarius, you might be, we're not going to talk about you. We're not going to talk about you, but you're diabolical. You're diabolical. And Aries is being put on again. The whole point of 2024 was to unlock the new direction of Aries, because what the world is looking for, the whole purpose of 2025, right? Okay, did you put in a mode application? I want you to see how 2025 in March, right? If we go back like if we go forward 3 months from now, we're going to have the last Saturn Sun conjunction in Pisces. Okay. This is what I call the final contract since the 1800s. And then, with Saturn since like 95, this is the final contract. It's the last Sun Saturn conjunction in Pisces we're going to have. Why is that significant? Where are we going to have the Sun Saturn next year? Next year in 2026, we're going to have the next Sun Saturn contract in Aries, baby. You see, we're going to have the next Sun conjunct Saturn kicking off a new cycle. So why is that significant? All right, let's explain why. Let's go back to today. In 6 months from now, we're going to have this sneak peek. This final contract, right, is getting ready to soft launch a new game. You've played the PS5. Some of you are going to be, and this reflects every individual. So this represents the self. The individual part of yourself is beta testing this new game. But some of you are going to be brought forth to ask to beta test the PS6 and 7. I like to use 7 because the 6 hasn't come out. So the Gemini part of you is going to come back with a whole bunch of ideas. Yeah, they may take like 30%, 20% of the ideas. You can keep the other 80. But in experimenting, right? A small percentage of development is going to be towards these. However, a major, like 80-90% of the focus of 2025 is going to be on Aries, because what the world has been needing and has been desperately missing is their Ready Player One. 2025 is about finding the Ready Player One. Who are they going to put on the face of this new frontier, if that makes sense? We've had a bit of an identity crisis over the past decade because we don't have a Ready Player One. We've got an identity politics, race politics. Oh, they should be this skin color. They should be this sex. They should be transgender. They should be cisgender. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is the year where we need to find that one singular. And now for all of us, this represents our identity, but this is going to look like this year as the new face, right? The new face of the company. Because Leo is at war right now. Virgo's at war. And we're not going to really get to Sag until later. We need to come back to Aries. All right. 2026, when we sign the new deal, the new contract with Sun, Saturn, Aries, the world would have chosen who this Ready Player One is. They're going to get the biggest bag of the century. All right. It's going to be probably one of the most significant deals we come into. So that lets you know that this year, as we are soft launching this new technology, Uranus, Neptune, and Aries are going to retrograde back into Pisces and Taurus. That's what 2025 is. We're going to step in there, start to see what it looks like. Then we're going to retrograde back to make obsolete everything that we've done. Imagine 2025 is the year that a whole new line of televisions come out. Televisions that, like Steve, you can like and go in and immerse yourself into that world. There's never been a TV like that. Then at the later half of the year, when we retrograde back in, well, now we have to remove all the old televisions, all the old beliefs from circulation, because we're going to replace them with this new technology. And then coming into 2026, everything has been phased out. Now, is it going to take that short? That's just my analogy. That's just to give you an idea of how to make sense of this next era, the retrograde back with Aries into Pisces and Gemini and Taurus, and then how they move forward for good 2026. Okay. So I wanted to show you that because in 6 months from now, everything that we're activating and harvesting now is going to come back around to be aware of how we individually feel 6 months in to, awakening more of this God power at the next level. All right. Recalls, right? Old programming. This is very, very significant because now getting an idea of where this is heading and what to expect. Jupiter in Cancer is going to be the brand new wave, because now that we're in the middle of coming into this new era, what do we feel about it? How is it that we push forward? Great question. So July and August is where we're going to initially step into it. All right. It's still new, right? So the best way to think about this is, how were you in the late 90s and early 2000s when flip phones and smartphones just became a thing, versus now where, I mean, we've had so many updates to smartphones. If you go back to that previous revolution where, and this is a whole new revolution we're coming into, but if you go back to that previous revolution where we started to initially use BlackBerries, it was still a novel concept. Like we had just been using corded phones. Cordless phones was like the big thing. Boom. Like, where were you when you first got a smartphone? After the Sidekick era, after like the BlackBerry era, where were you when you first started using smartphones? It was such a novel concept. We didn't know about TikTok back then. We didn't know about Twitch. We didn't know about like all of these advanced apps, like advanced video chatting, like Chat GPT wasn't even, AI was not in our vocabulary relative to the public sector or the private sector personally, right? Simpler times, as we say. But know that there are kids being born now that will call this simpler times relative to later, which is the beautiful thing about time. So if you think about what that felt like, you didn't know all these innovations were going to happen, but you're looking at a smartphone that's effectively a computer. It's groundbreaking technology for its time that you could have never anticipated unless you worked in technology. That's what 2025 is going to be like, and 2026. It's still just the beginning. It's not like in 20 years from now, 2044, where we may have flying cars and teleportation pads, if that could even be regulated, right? I mean, I'm just speculating. But it's a good way to approach this. We are just clearing a cycle. And I'm only saying that because you don't want to get too caught up in the rush to try and figure out everything, right? Versus allowing yourself to really step in to this new cycle and be guided towards how to align most authentically with it. Because if you're not aligning authentically, you will rush to follow trends that are not authentic to you, right? Versus in following that path of authenticity, pioneering things, being a part of innovation that actually is authentic to you. Your choice, of course. All right. So very important that we are looking at the beginning of a new frontier as the sun conjuncts Jupiter and begins a brand new cycle of evolution in the sign of Cancer. All right. The fourth chapter of this evolution journey, where the plot thickens over the next 3 years, things get very deep, and we are effectively kicking off the New World Order. And astrology helped me look at the New World Order outside of a conspiracy theory, because my introduction to the New World Order was a conspiracy theory that has a lot of truth into it. But now I'm able to look at it as not something orchestrated by like a hidden hand, even though it could still play out that way, but a more celestial event that actually impacts the entire world. And we can see how it impacts it. The world is ready to go into digital currency, phase out old models and systems, integrate a whole new line of just revolutionary mindsets, technology. If we go back the past 30 to 60 years, you know what I'm saying? The geopolitical relationships of countries are, I would say, now exponentially developed. Not to say that there still isn't conflict, which will also develop, but we're in a place where communication between countries and connection, like a bullet train going from London to New York, like this, we're stepping into what I like to call the advanced society arc. The advanced society arc is a 20-year revolutionary and innovative arc marked by Pluto's transit in the zodiac sign, now constellation of Aquarius. It's in the constellation of Capricorn, but simultaneously in the zodiac sign of Aquarius, where human development and society will become more advanced than it ever has been. Every single time in human history where we have seen this, right? The world has gone through major revolutions that have heavily impacted the rest of time. So the last 2 times that Pluto was in Aquarius, we had, you know, the Protestantism breakthrough from Catholicism, and Catholicism still affects people to this day. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius, America had just become a nation. France was in revolution, Russia was in revolution, Haiti subsequently later, and that affects us today, like most other transits. But it really does, of course. I don't want to say that it's limited to just that, where innovation only happens during then, but we could say is the peak. All right. So very exciting times. I like to think every time is exciting, but this definitely is going to be a lot weirder as in more supernatural as well. And I mean, the Aquarians are awakening. So that's just always terrifying. Frequency warfare, modulation. I'm not going to speculate on that, but I just wanted to say the term direct energy weapons do frequency warfare. Nothing new, but definitely more advanced. Okay. All right. But yeah, you know, before we get to that point 6 months later, right now we are on the verge of harvesting God power that 2 weeks ago you activated during the new moon, specifically 2 weeks ago. This was not only the activation of this, but for greater context, let's go back to a year. Pluto was in Aquarius, Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto was in Capricorn. Pluto was in Capricorn. You know what I'm saying? So this is the first new moon we're having where this toxic roommate is no longer in the building. Okay. You can literally even see this play out. If you're advanced enough, you can see how the zodiac plays out through the representatives. Do you think it's a coincidence that, you know, Drake has had a falling out with LeBron James as soon as Hades left Capricorn, right? Hades that rules Scorpio left Capricorn. It entered 2008. You know what I'm saying? 2009, 2012. Now it's in Aquarius, right? And that's just one example. It's not specific or limited to just those two. But when you learn how to read the stars, you can see how it plays out in these dynamics. Subtly, overtly. All right. I'm not mentioning Drake and LeBron because I even care about that drama and gossip, although it's fun to talk about. But these things are very significant to show you how, you know, it legitimately plays out. And in knowing this, you can literally predict how it will play out. So the new moon that you do see in Capricorn, now with Pluto and Aquarius, is setting a brand new precedent of Capricorn seasons. And pre-2008 was like starting the cycle before your hardware was worked on. Now we're starting the cycle after your hardware came out the shop. And it's done. They're done working on it. They're done updating it, awakening it, you know, transforming it, okay, to set this new technological or advanced precedent, okay? So now a week from then, the seeds broke through the ground with the nodes and with Chiron, issuing this original sense of vulnerability and healing. And now we're here, guys, okay? The full moon. This 24-degree angle with Mars in Cancer, trining Neptune, is going to prepare you for the next 6 hours. As in 6 hours from now, the moon will exactly be on Mars. Let me actually show you. If we go 6 hours from now, the moon will have conjuncted Mars, which is actually going to be like 5 hours from now, because it's going to be it's going to retrograde back 26 degrees. That conjunction with Mars is an activation of super psychic power that you are feeling how you are charging in order to convert to this God level perspective. It's like an example of universal perspective I can give you is putting on Professor X's helmet. This is what you're harvesting, inability to do naturally. When Professor X puts on Charles Xavier, when he puts on that helmet, he's tapped into every collective thought. It's not just his mind. And with his mind, he could read maybe a limit to how much his brain can handle. The helmet now expands and amplifies with Cerebro how he can tap into the entire collective and connect with every mind. So the moon in Cancer is, how do you feel as Charles Xavier wearing that, right? Where the Cerebro is your God power. We're using telepathy in this case. And then you as the individual, the water in your body, these are your own feelings for how you feel you use Cerebro, okay? So you're getting ready to take the seeds you planted, broke through the ground last week, and it's now ready to reap. We're reaping it. In a week, we're going to complete this harvest. And when we complete this harvest is when we're getting ready to awaken a 20-year advanced society arc, where many of you will probably pioneer and be the main character. And this is what we're going to talk about the next 2 weeks ahead. Okay. From, of course, third quarter square to new moon in Aquarius. All right. That being said, guys, it's been nice serving y'all. All right. Psychic beef is about to be on 100. Okay. That being said, and you felt this as soon as the moon went into Cancer 2 weeks ago, like the Pluto in Aquarius has been now extremely strengthening the breakthrough of telepathic and psychic contact you have been making with frequencies. The critical facet of our brains is limited by the broadband and electromagnetic spectrums, visually and auditorially, that we can process, meaning that there's a range we can't hear beyond, and there's a spectrum we can't see beyond, right? So many of you have been tapping into these frequencies unknowingly because they still exist, and your brain may not have had the vocabulary that's being expanded with Jupiter and Gemini and your individual experience, the ability to make sense of this phenomenon. This is what has had you now associate with the words you use the closest sense we can make with this. So I like to use the analogy of being jumped vibrationally, right? Is what's actually happening a group of people telepathically talking shit to you? You know what I'm saying? That's not what's really happening. But this is the best way our brains can make sense of phenomena that exist outside of anything we actually understand or like can use. This is where we're creating language, we're innovating science to now update what we're getting ready to understand. Because now moving forward, and it might be, I'm not going to lie, it actually might be that as well. I'm going to say, there's a range that I want to come through. It could specifically be that, but I don't want to set it up like you're a victim, because no one's a victim here. The frequencies people are experiencing, everyone's going through it. So it's not like one person, and it could happen, but it's not like one person's getting picked on. It's every individual's reaction to a collective phenomena that's affecting everybody, for better or for worse. Some people are taking their own lives because it's just super intense. And energy like this, where society has not caught up to understanding, can have many people in the world feel like they're misunderstood. No one understands what they're going through. So many people are tired of being told by physicians who are doing their job, I would hope to the best of their ability, that they just need this medicine or that medicine. The physicians aren't taught how to deal with this, and in most cases are giving the advice they're meant to do. So I'm not trying to blame doctors for this or scientists. This is a collective awakening where everyone in their individual experiences, as we usually do, will update the lexicon. Things that used to be studied or practiced in medicine and science with time have been updated through analysis and experimentation. It never stays the same, unlike the natural laws of the universe that don't usually change, like whatever we interpret it as. Okay, so this 2-week span of harvesting this power, one is the first full moon of the completion cycle. So we're going to have 2 more full moons before we reset. But one thing that's very significant is it's kill or be killed. This is going to be intense, guys. First, there's a week coming into Aquarius, and this final week of Capricorn is going to sextile Neptune. It's trining Uranus right now, and it's going to sextile Neptune. The Neptune conjunction we had in March is now effectively completing itself. Okay. And if you think that this is the second to last and last Sun Neptune transit of all time, for our lifetime, unless, some people are saying if you're born under 50, technology within the rest of the decade will exist. Like there's a post that said, so this isn't verified, but there's talks around saying that if you're under 50 years old, you may live to 2,500. Like, these are the next level questions we're going to come into. Is it ethical to extend your life, right? Even though it already kind of happens. And I'm not going to answer that question. It's not ethical or unethical. I'm just, these are just, ideas that are going to be put out there, right? I was saying that because I was going to say, you're probably not going to live for the next time Neptune will be back in Pisces. But given that there's life extension technology on the way, maybe you will. We're not going to answer that. But that being said, this Neptune conjunction we did in 2024, you are now being aware of the rewards. One of the most important aspects happening right now is the sun closing trining Uranus and closing sextiling Neptune. So you're coming into a tangible awareness of how you are moving forward and actualizing fantasies, dreams. Let me give you a context for that, of course. If we go back to, of course, 9 months ago, where the sun was on Neptune in Pisces, I love it. We had this conjunction, and in a year from now, we will have the final conjunction and contract. The final contract here is it. All right. It's like we're cutting the veil. We're stepping into a whole new paradigm. This is new paradigm energy. All right. Straight rabbit hole we don't come out of. So by the time we do that, the next conjunction we will have will be in Aries. Okay, cool. So this is the second to last time we're going to come into this rewards. That conjunction was dreams, fantasies, hopes, and wishes. Neptune was activating at a higher level with this Pisces conjunction, the cycle with which you stretch out your imagination, the maximum nature of imagination. By this point here with the full moon, your body, your emotional body, your subconscious has gotten used to the nature of negative projections being projected individually, socially, and collectively. Most of these projections are unconscious in the sense where people don't have to know who you are. For example, and this is a theory, whatever, you might believe that dogs are cool. Now, someone halfway across the country who hates dogs because they love cats, your frequency of loving dogs, that state, that disposition is going to clash with that unseen, non-linear, non-local frequency of others who hate dogs. I hate people who love dogs. Now, you across the country are going to feel into that. This is going to be like a negligible frequency. Unless you're a super psychic Pisces or Scorpio, it's going to be inundated with the plethora of frequencies you're already being bombarded with unconsciously. Now take a whole community. Now take a whole collective, right? These are just subtle. I'm trying to pick up that you pick up on these frequencies, but they're very subtle, right? That's why I say you're not a victim of them, right? Everyone gets hit. Like just the way that person hates dog haters, there's someone who hates people who hate dogs. They're receiving that, right? So I'm just using this as an analogy to where now that you are increasing sensitivity of these dynamics, and we're finding our own individual way to make sense of it before it's actually, researched, and we have more, consistency around case studies, which makes this like a Wild West, like a no man's land. Like we're stepping into phenomena that will take the rest of the decade and a few years to wrap science around until that updates, right? This is going to now strengthen extremely more the nature of these attacks, the nature of this friction. A lot of the negativity projected aren't even attacks. It's just friction. It's resistance as you charge voltage with your own soul current, right? Cancer defines super psychic. Super psychic power starts at Cancer. Then Scorpio intensifies it, right? At the God level or coming into the God level, like a demigod, and then Pisces is at the highest divine God level. So Cancer is holy power, holy water, Scorpio is pure water, and then Pisces is divine essence, right? So that being said, it's great to open up what you previously thought was impossible. I think 99% of what people thought was previously impossible will be made possible by, inventions, technology, mindsets alone in the next 5 years. And I don't even think that's an outlandish statement. I mean, I feel like that's kind of realistic to say, just do the technology alone. But, yup. So, what I really want to keep in mind is Mars that's still opposing the sun and Pluto is preparing you for war, guys. I've said preparation for war many times, right? But this preparation for war is individually shifting how you personally feel. And with Mars, the psychic blicky, how you're getting ready to catch several bodies. Look at me here. All right. I'm here for you and with you. When it comes time to have to face real life people, entire collectives of frequencies that wish to see you as less than you are, to actively pressure you, peer pressure, group pressure, this fight to the death is merely at its most basic state, maintaining your frame. All right. The reframe wars are climaxing, where you have people in defense of their beliefs or ideas that you threaten by being authentic, right? By actually practicing what you preach in an effort to defend their own selves who feel attacked because their beliefs are challenged and threatened directly or indirectly. That's going to intensify the energetic projections towards you in an effort to back down. This is preparing you for Mars returning into Leo, because Mars went into Leo and then Pluto went into Aquarius, and the audience started to turn up thinking you soft. The audience started to see, before they were just heckling you. Now the audience is threatening you extremely, thinking you're soft. Like you don't have a gun and you won't start shooting audience members. Yeah, I know. Would you rather them shoot you, or are you going to shoot them and still finish your performance? Like, this is the next era here. All right, we're not stopping the show because someone died. The show must go on. Okay. So this is you retrograding back into Cancer, back in your home, like, oh no, they got me effed up. Someone threw a tomato at me. No. Okay, like, it's literally fostering, now that you have upgraded and awakened the next level of power for you, how you feel about expressing and addressing that, right? Capricorn is the corporate self, okay? And Cancer is the private self, the private sector. Capricorn is going to be public, right? So what I like to think about this full moon is, how do you, if you're the CEO of a company, right, and you have decisions you have to make, how do you really feel about it, right? Hey, yes, we have decided our company is going to let go of this employee because they were just very rude, and we don't accept rudeness in our company. That's the Capricorn translation. The Cancer translation is that CEO, right, in HR, like, I told you to fire that bitch. What are we talking about? No, this bitch wanted to talk to me, talking about, oh, I don't care about this job. I don't care. Get rid of that bitch. All right. We can't do that publicly. So now we take that feeling and then publicly, like, it is to our regret, regretfully, we had to fire a certain employee. Our company wishes them well, but the Cancer is like, fuck that. I hope they die. You know what I mean? Like, it's a complete opposition. We have to bridge that. The bridge, cringe Lord. The bridge, right, with Aries is authenticity. Because yeah, we have to be professional and we have to take how we feel, but how authentic, even if it hurts our ego or brings more vulnerability, how do we maintain that balance with Libra? Okay, how we socialize this authenticity. So this is a very important full moon because the harvest and activation of this power is going to be deeply felt. And this is going to not only have you over the next week and a half harvest the feeling, strength, and analysis of supernatural power, namely up until now through Pisces and through Gemini, it's been a concept. Okay, I believe that I can express my abilities at this higher level. And then through Gemini, I think this is how I think I can do this. Well, now that we're harvesting it through Virgo, you're going to actually analyze how it is you're really doing it. Cancer is shifting this abstract concept of comic book-esque powers to, oh no, I'm actually really feeling it. The concept was a framework to shape it, and now we are actually feeling it to where through Virgo, you're going to detail how it's done. In less than a week, you're going to come into a detailed understanding of the utilization of this power. Boom. Then we're going to step into Aquarius, which is going to awaken the knowledge of what this new frontier is, of what this next frontier is. Okay. So, congratulations for getting here so far. What I wanted to say relative to this is the dark forces and collective, let's say essences, people, the people who are being used as puppets for these, dark vibrations, thoughts, beliefs, up until this point have subliminally, subconsciously, directly, and openly done everything in their power subliminally, indirectly, and somewhat directly to take this path you have authentically been going into and to deter you, to dissuade you, to shame you with guilt, to influence you to feel shame, influence you to feel guilt. And this is where the stronger you feel it aligned with integrity and authenticity, it's like a video game. You're going in the right path as the difficulty gets more, okay? It has single-handedly exposed the behavior of those who maintain this intent to knock you off and trick you off position, right? And their inability and failure to do so has them punching their fist in the air like never before. Because now indirectly you're having them feel like frauds, like if you knew the way certain people have been plotting behind you, and not in a paranoid way, even if conceptually, even if just the idea of you, and have been failing miserably, this is now increasing that desire irrationally to at least make themselves feel better by feeling like they had something to do with you being knocked off path. Okay. So this is why you're going to be more receptive to bitterness, to envy, to uncharacteristic reactions and actions from people who it may not even be them. They could just be possessed in a state of just being negative to be used as a puppet to do this. Another thing is, this is the first Pluto Aquarius we've had at this quality. One since 248 years, but even then at this quality. So the whole idea about sleeper cell agents, the whole ability to now at a heightened quality perceive people directly being puppet stringed to attack you is going to be like night and day. It's going to be clear. The next 2 weeks is going to prepare you for it. And then it's going to be extremely dangerous and ugly to the point where you don't even want to be angry at that individual. You want to ask yourself, what is behind that individual? What is inspiring this person to be used like this? while also letting that person take responsibility for their actions. Humanity is going to get a lot crazy over the next 20 years, but that craziness isn't entirely a bad thing versus getting used to this increase and intensity of energy. Okay. All right. So the reason why I'm saying that is what this should feel like right now is like a sore loser who didn't necessarily get their way. And they hate that you kind of won, and you won if you maintained authenticity, integrity. You won if the stance you had at the beginning of 2023 and 2024, you've effectively maintained since Saturn was in Pisces, right? If you not only maintained integrity by calling your own self out where you didn't align with it, and you did not let the peer pressure around you shame or guilt you away from thriving and still doing that, right? Oh my God. Then you won. And what you may not fully be aware is that there are many groups, collectives, individuals who are incensed that they weren't able to manipulate you. That's basically it. There was an incredible attempt at multiple levels to manipulate you, manipulate your perception of yourself, manipulate how you feel about yourself. Because if we can manipulate these things and you don't have a strong sense of confidence in yourself, we can literally control what you do. We can literally just shame you into feeling like, oh, well, you need our approval. Many of you had the unmitigated gall and audacity to stand up for yourself. You had the audacity to push forward when you were made to feel that your confidence was arrogance. You had the audacity to call out and prove with receipts outright gaslighting because you wouldn't get with the program. So you're more of a target than you've ever been. And the quality and intensity of these projections are going to be like a teenager and child who haven't gotten what they want, who refuse to take any, if at all, accountability for their actions. And so they have to take it out on you by completely making up BS, which was why the I Told You So tour was necessary with these receipts every Virgo season. And since they cannot beat you, they're trying to do everything they can to impede your progress, with which has failed miserably, which does a lot to one's self-esteem, who thinks that they're better than you and who is so insecure they need to feel better than you. All right. So the uphill battle that you may have gone through in braving through these frequencies is not necessarily going to feel as difficult anymore, because you've broken through, especially with this full moon, a secure individual feeling that aligns with this sense of integrity, okay? Where you have so much more confidence in your own psychic insights, where you're not letting postmodern materialist reductionist hogwash diminish the supernatural quality of your intuition, of phenomena that goes outside what makes sense currently, that you have actually backed up with proof and facts. You've broken out the need to prove yourself to people. And that is terrifying those who gain leverage by feeling better than you, by feeling like they have something over you. Okay. For those of you who have been feeling this increasing sense as Pluto went back in Aquarius from like November, December, and January, I want you to comment Star Wars, okay? If you've been feeling a significant, intense increase of psychic attack or just vibrational projections at you since November of 2024, it is not just in your head. You are not alone. You are feeling what the rest of the collective is feeling relative to it. See, if you lack integrity and if you're evil, you have succumbed to this collective vibration. And like an agent in the Matrix, you've become that agent being a puppet for this bullshit false narratives. But if you have stood your ground and maintained your authenticity and individuality, then when we awaken this next cycle, you won't just become a part of this hive mind. You will be a player one. You will be a ready player one and not an NPC that is regurgitating thoughts and beliefs input into your brain. What makes you a ready player one is that you receive this, but you have your own logic in order to counter that, to accept that, to add to that. It's not like you're just blindly accepting what to believe. You may agree with everything you're being told to believe, but it's conscientious with your own research being done into it. You're doing research to verify, versus just, okay, this is what I'm told to believe. All right. And I don't necessarily say NPC condescendingly as much as I want to say it as the accurate version of the term. A non-playable character is a programmed character that has circular logic. Everything that they're meant to say in the game has been programmed. They have no thought or consciousness outside of their own. And there's certain people who unconsciously operate like that. Maybe that's what they're meant to do in the time, but just really keep that in mind, because these are puppets that are going to be used to try and put you in your place. And none of this is meant to scare you. This is only happening because you're a fucking badass. And this is going to bring in more exhilaration. If instead you treat this like a role-playing game, then you know it's something to level up from, right? Not anything to be afraid of. This is going to grind more experience points for you. And you're going to be strong. So it's going to be a lot more intense. For every single one of you commenting Star Wars, you're feeling what you're feeling because you're carrying an original spark of the divine spark within you in a demiurgic controlled reality that's trying to blind you from your divine origin. So for those of you commenting Star Wars, you have a piece of the puzzle that you are meant to take into this new world, this next world order, so that we can pioneer the new ideas and thoughts. And when we meet in this next world, we can connect our puzzle pieces and create a brand new picture. That's what you've been given through this first part. All right, the first round of the Hunger Games, 2008 to 2024, you've been given a unique puzzle piece that's unique to you. It's an updated puzzle piece that carries the codes of the new world. Your mission, should you choose to accept, and this is just an analogy to make sense of things, is to make it into this next era, connect with your tribe, and put those puzzle pieces together. You'll know who's a part of your tribe because your puzzle piece connects with their puzzle piece. And then both of you will find other people who fit that picture. What dark forces are doing is to have you throw your puzzle piece away, to have you not believe in this puzzle piece. That's not a puzzle piece. You just made it up, right? To fear you, like the fear propaganda. If you thought the fear propaganda was bad before, the fear propaganda over the next 20 years, not from just one side, from everything. Everything I'm speaking of is collective. So like, it's not this side versus this side. You're going to see elements of it from everywhere. People will give into it or rise above it. It's going to be on a whole nother level. And this fear propaganda is like, for example, using the force. You know, this is an example. This is a movie mechanic. You don't have to take this for real, but it might be for real life. Some of you may have experiences. The whole notion of killing magicians and killing psychics and killing people who use the force in order to suppress that could be a fear tactic. But the whole purpose of what I'm saying is, in the 2 weeks that are coming into what you're getting ready to experience, right? This is harvesting this finally awakened God power that you've spent the entire year concluding since October of 2023 with the South Node eclipse in Libra. This is the power you're going to take to brave the new era. 6 months from now, once we actually step into Cancer season and step into this new era, you will have spent 6 months harvesting, activating through Pisces and integrating through Aries to Gemini, this harvest of God power, so that by the time we're in Cancer, you feel who you are stepping into this fully now, being more situated with these new powers, all right, which happen every year. So the concept of having new powers is not just a one-time thing. All right. we're going to go into the next 2 weeks of what to expect. But I do want to once again allow you to remember that, okay, the sun that is making a 300-degree angle with Neptune in Pisces and Mars that is trining Neptune is actively not only having you be aware. I want to make sure we're clear on that. You are receiving rewards from everything that you have sowed since last year, March of 2024. So that's why this should be exciting for you. Simultaneously, while coming into those rewards. So 3 days from now, once we step into 27 degrees Capricorn, that entire 30-day span from there is you actively coming into the knowledge of rewards you're receiving. Okay, so it's going to start now. While that's happening, you are harvesting God power you spent since 2008 awakening at the final level. All right. So this is where you're going to be experiencing at a heightened quality supernatural phenomena that takes into account years worth of synchronization process that happened auto-nervously to you. It's going to become more noticeable. And that's where if you commented Star Wars, because now you have maintained the grid, Instagram, it's showing me that no one is watching. And I know you guys are in here. So comment Star Wars 2 so I can see who's live to see if I don't know why, my Instagram is kind of glitching. But this is going to prepare you for the 20-year Star Wars arc. The Advanced Society arc of Pluto Aquarius, which I'll make a webinar or documentary about, is tied into, okay, and the Star Wars, please press that for Instagram, but you can do it on YouTube too. This Advanced Society arc actually kicks in this new Star Wars narrative. That could look like Alien, Disclosure, right? I don't think I'm live on IG. Okay, yeah, maybe because it's been over an hour. Thank you, bro. Oh, okay, it's been over an hour. So I guess they cap it at an hour if I use StreamYard. So that's probably why. So basically, the quality and nature of the next 2 weeks, right, is going to directly plug you into the game. It's going to be a massive counterattack. Now, remember, the clapback of all clapbacks is going to be Pisces season. So we're stepping into, this is a 3-stage clapback from Capricorn, Aqua, Pisces. And now we're going to strengthen the direction. Capricorn maintained integrity for how you stand when you're being interfaced with this. Because if you want to get into direct energy weapons, like it's been patented since I think the 70s, where they have technology where they can put waves in your mind and have you think you're hearing thoughts. All right. That's going to overlap with the number of people who are just suffering auditory hallucinations and may just be mildly schizophrenic. But this is going to open up outside of technology, just that concept. And why that's very significant is everything that you have readjusted to dealing with this subliminal influence in the mannerisms and behaviors of others, what people don't do, how at a collective, social, and individual level, you have people who want to slowly but surely trick you out your position. And in most ways, these are done with the greatest of intent. Your parents, your family, your siblings, your spouse, your children, your friends, your neighbors, like, it doesn't matter who they are or who you are. Anyone could be used to do this. And this is where I invite you from now on, Ephesians 6:12. Okay. I highly recommend, let's actually read Ephesians 6:12. This is just, analogy. You don't have to really take the biblical interpretation. It doesn't have to be based on the Bible. This is just more so an analogy for what's happening outside of the biblical lore, but expressed through biblical lore. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. And now that we're coming into a more Aquarian-centric, advanced societal, Star Wars-esque era, the qualities of our higher mind and our higher bodies are what's going to be more at play. Principalities, powers, thrones, entities, and angelic beings that govern large groups of people. This is what you don't know the fights your angels and spirit guides are doing. So this is going to make more interactive the knowledge of what spirits now representing emanations from your own spirit, that I'm just going to call spirits, the spirit team. You're going to have much more flawless communication with them. And this could be through your own behaviors. Like, communication with your spirit team doesn't have to look like, hey, what do I do, Fred? This is what I do. It could be the way you communicate with your habits. They could communicate to you through your thoughts, your habits, your feelings, right? At this point, you have awakened fully the hardware of this. Now we're getting ready to program updated software that aligns with this next level of technology, okay? So for those of you who commented Star Wars, you're going to find that you have more control than ever. You understand your thoughts, your feelings, and yourself more than ever. And some of you are going to put the smack down on these forces, on these influences. And now, this doesn't look like physical violence. It can, especially if you don't mind a couple battery charges or assault charges, you can go all out. But it doesn't have to look like that. It, at its most base element, is going to look like not backing down. It's the year of the whistleblower. So everything, it's almost a sense of rebellion too, a rebellion against BS. Your willing determination, okay, to maintain what you said you will do through this period of innovation, where what you will be pioneering clashes with outdated traditions, clashes with outdated perspectives. I don't care if this is you marrying outside your culture, or maybe you're getting into work that's frowned upon. Your willingness to maintain integrity, if you're being honest with yourself, and authenticity, okay, is what's going to secure you victory. Because the battle isn't to, you know what I'm saying, be the most popular or to be accepted. The battle being fought over your soul is to trick you out of your position. If we can use collective peer pressure to get thousands of people to shame you and call you names so that you stop doing what you're doing, you have effectively done what they wanted you to do. If despite receiving all of these attacks, vibrationally, literally, you still grit yourself to do what they're trying to stop you to do, you're winning, even though your external environment will be, they'll put an illusion around it to make it look like it's anything but, right? For example, if I get everyone in the school to make fun of someone who's going to sing a very important song at a talent show, and they're making fun of them that whole week, and then that person doesn't show up to the talent show, then I won. But if I antagonize them with the whole school, oh, you can't even sing, you suck, you better not sing there. If you sing, I'm going to beat you up. And then that person actually sings, they still get made fun of. As they're leaving the stage, they're getting booed. They get jumped after singing that song. That person won. Because, yeah, I harassed them. I bullied them before and after. But they did what they decided to do. This is the level of grit you need moving forward. That's where Pluto opposite Leo transits now. Pluto Aquarius opposite Leo is performing even if you're extremely hated, because of the integrity of the message coming out, because of the integrity of, I'm not going to be pressured or bullied to make a decision I didn't authentically want to take, even if it kills me, okay? This is where back in the times of Pluto Aqua, and it's not limited to that time, but you had Protestants who and maybe Catholics who were killed because of their beliefs. Protestants who were killed because of a Catholic Inquisition. And they didn't let fear stop them. Not to say everyone didn't. Back in the last time Pluto was there, right? With all the revolutions, right? Not that the revolutions only happened during that period, but just kind of just taking into account the revolutions that happened during that period, right? So stand on your shit, bet on you always, okay? You are clearly supported. So the lie is that you're alone. That is a lie. You are very supported. The powers that support you in integrity are much more powerful than the illusions that will be presented by beings who have no internal locus of control. They have no security within themselves, which is why they're threatened by you. Anyone who is secure in themselves will never be threatened by you. So like people's actions are snitching on themselves. Unfortunately, a lot of people just aren't that smart and they leave themselves susceptible. Maybe that's how they learn. Okay, that's not to be condescending. It's so that you don't inadvertently allow yourself, by trusting someone who doesn't know better, to, you know, completely screw you over. All right. Cool. The next 2 weeks in harvesting power you may have never felt as powerfully are going to prepare you for this next era. The transition over the next 6 months into this next era. And that's going to encompass phenomena and experiences that maybe I can't put into words right now, but with Jupiter and Gemini, we will be actively expanding our vocabulary to open up concepts that we can now explore and play with, like beta testers testing PlayStation 7 before the PS6 is even out. Okay. I want to get that new Nintendo Switch. That's why I haven't got one yet. So the only last thing I want to say before that is you may not necessarily have been aware of how much more powerful you have become because you have been surrounded in an environment that doesn't foster it. If I try and plant a seed into an environment that doesn't get sunlight and that doesn't really get enough water, it could be the most healthy seed ever. Its external environment isn't fostering this. And every single one of you who have commented Star Wars are commenting that because you're probably not in a collective environment that can foster the level of innovation you're in. You're probably not in a social environment in your own personal community that even speaks the language you do. And you're probably not even in an individual environment with family and friends that really do. Not to say, some of you do. So some of you have worked hard to create these spaces. I'm just saying, chances are, if you comment Star Wars, you're not. That's why you're being bombarded by unconscious frequencies by people whose beliefs, right? Consciously, they may not be aware, but unconsciously, they hold that belief. You're going to receive that clash, just like they may receive the clash you have. This is going to create more tension. Is that what's scientifically happening? This is just an analogy I want to use to make sense of these unseen frequencies. This later could be proved to be wrong, and then I can adjust how I think about it. But this is just my personal perspective, right? So what's going to happen is, now that you have broken through by maintaining integrity, because Saturn and Pisces effectively not only helped you break through, but maintain integrity of these beliefs collectively to where you can stand in front of the whole world and maintain these beliefs. That's the most important thing about Saturn and Pisces, that what you believe, and if you're wrong, you can change these beliefs, but what you're right about believing and what you have established integrity through Virgo to Sag season is that if the entire world got you to not believe, for example, and if you have beliefs you've proven to be true and not a single person in the world can get you not to believe them, and that you can provably prove, I want you to comment unicorn, okay? For those of you, that means you've passed the Saturn Pisces test. All Saturn wanted to do was remind you of how delusional you may be, but how genius you may be, okay? So there's certain beliefs that maybe you had since March of 2023 that Saturn was like, there's no integrity in these beliefs. These are doubts you have in yourself that don't reflect who you are. Or these are beliefs that you got too much in your ego in yourself. And certain people stayed delusional. They didn't want to take accountability for their beliefs, and they're going out sad. The beliefs that influence their behavior, because they did not call themselves out and work on it, you're seeing it on them. Versus those of you who called yourself out. You actually were willing to change your beliefs to align them in integrity. Then their beliefs that may have sounded extremely abstract from March of 2024, but by September of 2024, you integrated these beliefs into your lifestyle. You have effectively and consistently demonstrated supernatural aspects of your magic, of your power, whether through tarot cards, astrology, engineering, car manufacturing. The supernatural is transcendent to everything. It's not just psychic arts, which is just a small box people who don't understand anything about psychic ability put into, right? Where psychic art, it applies to every field. Magic applies to every field. It's not just some box that this is magic. Magic is everything, all right? You could be a magic chiropractor. You know what I mean? So you have now gained a puzzle piece. This was your entrance into the I Told You So tour, because stuff that was just a belief, you made real through your own behavior and habits. Okay. All of you commenting unicorn have a system of beliefs that if the entire world forced you to stop believing, you would keep believing, even if it meant your death. Congrats. You're ready for the next era, because it is these beliefs that will be the arc and foundation to have you more than just survive, but thrive moving forward. That's what's going to establish the authority of this new individuality when Saturn goes into Aries this year and next year. If you commented Star Wars and unicorn, you are going to, at an increasing quality, feel the stubborn nature of those who, now that you have proven they can't manipulate you, will, like a sore loser in their full bitterness, do everything in their power to passive aggressively, subliminally, and subtly try and trick you out your position. The only thing is, they couldn't get you to this point, so they're never going to get you. And that's why there's this extreme hatred that you're going to start to awaken what has been happening to you in retrospect, retroactively. And a lot of you might go on a revenge arc, but we do justice here, not revenge. All right. Living spirit of magic. The next week and a half is going to unpack and harvest what these gifts and powers are. And then we're going to activate the Aquarius signature and cycle that's now going to charge this direct power with supernatural energy. You're going to come into the knowledge of that. Then we're going to go into Pisces, which is going to give you a divine experience of that and shift your beliefs. All right. Once again, you know what I'm saying? You may be dealing with people who passive aggressively laugh at you, snicker. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you believe in that? Oh, you think this is real? But see, we know that won't work on us because we did the work and we produced receipts. So I can walk into a room and people can make fun of, oh, you believe in tarot cards? You think that's real? You can't predict stuff with that. That's not going to offend me because I have receipts of predicting multiple things to the T with cards. I took what people thought was, and not just me, we all did too. We all know what we did. Okay. So this is what's going to continue to transform that status quo. People are going to feel passive aggressive because they're going to feel that you have nothing to prove to them. And they, in their heads, have put themselves in a position where you have to prove everything to them. And they're starting to feel the insignificance of that never having to be the case. You're going to hear this in people's vocal tonality. You're going to subtly experience this in certain people's behavior. And you don't have to argue. You don't have to shout with them. You don't have to go back and forth with them. All you have to do is just maintain that authenticity. Keep doing what you're doing. These beings have devolved themselves to only being able to call you names. You've thoroughly whooped their ass so much just by being yourself. All they can do is call you names that don't even apply to who you are. Like, this is the level of misery, anxiety, and desperation your enemies are in right now. And I'm not just telling you this. You're going to resonate with this because you're experiencing it in the uncharacteristic ways people are reacting to you, in the slick things people are saying. And that's just at an individual level. This is always also happening like beyond all that too. Okay. So something to keep in mind as you continue to speak with your actions, the moon in Cancer is going to settle this sincere feeling of not just comfort, but challenging that comfort so that you remain not only unbothered, but now you're recalibrating this potency to expand forward. And this is where, for those of you who commented unicorn, for those of you who commented Star Wars, the influence of not necessarily being fostered in an external environment that draws out your abilities, because you've broken through that, the next 2 weeks is going to be a hyper acceleration of realizing how powerful you've always been while now not being suppressed. And this is going to now, at a very heightened quality, bring out true colors and uncharacteristic reactions from others. People who have always had in the back of their head. And when I say people, I mean people who may not even be aware they've been transformed into agents of the Matrix. You're going to see the agent in them come out. And this is where we fight not against flesh and blood. They may not even be aware they're being possessed by the devil or these agents to get at you like this. If you take it personal and just get at them, the agent can just go to another body and they're just left confused. Even if they know what they're doing, their decision to give up is stupid. So they really don't know what they're doing. Even if they feel like they know they're one-upping someone, the decision to cross you is stupid. So they're not acting. They're acting out of ignorance, whether they realize that or not. Okay. People who aren't so full of themselves and have to feel better than others, they're going to feel great about your development. But people who are threatened by you, they're going to have resistance towards this development. The next 2 weeks, as you feel this awakened godly power and now expanding how much more you can sense, it's going to make you clear of this. Then when we start this Aquarius season in a week and 2 weeks with the new moon, you're going to begin to this new era of knowing so much more qualities of this. So this is where you're going to know everything that's been suppressed within you. And that's where this name calling is coming from. That's where this negative projection is coming from. Beings who are going to be eviscerated by you just standing in your power without even having to be violent with them, shout, yell. It's a silent power and dominance that you, starting now with the harvest of this full moon and with that Sun Pluto, are going to really express. So let's now go over the next 2 weeks and what to expect. This is a very, once again, significant next 2 weeks because, the historic 2025 begins. This is going to be, I think, one of the most historic years we've had in a while. All right. Yes, I've said, yes, I'll probably keep saying that. I'm probably going to say that for 2026 and 2027. I know I will because that astrology is crazy. I'm probably going to say that for 2028 just to give you a multi-layered look at time where each, time is not psychological or linear. It's just an external now. All right. So, yeah. The truth is these people, these forces, these vibrations, they're deeply insecure. And all they've known their whole life is ignorance. So people resistant to change. And some people have wrapped rhetoric around this ignorance. Some people have equated this ignorance towards worldly wisdom. And because they're wise in the ways of the world, that means that they think that they know you when it's just ignorance. They've created very nice sounding rhetoric that makes them sound intelligent, that's backed on this, peer-reviewed, peer-reviewed research, degrees, which is really just an eloquent, intelligent way of wrapping around rhetoric over bullshit, okay? Over things that don't reflect who you truly are, over a system of beliefs that's really just based off of theories instead of anything true. All right, don't let people put theories over you. You are truly alive. A theory, a model of the universe is not real. It's a perception about something. Don't let anyone put that perception over you. Don't let anybody tell you you were born a filthy, disgusting sinner that needs a plagiarized version of Flavian Christ to save you, where you, the self, is Christ. You activate that divine spark. Even my ideas are just coming from my perspective. Don't let that be the God over you, because this is but just a perspective. You're actually real. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind, because now that it's been established that yourself cannot be manipulated, now the best they can do is try and manipulate your external, and they're going to find out the hard way that you've always been protected. There's nothing they can do to you, especially at this point. All right. So just if you're prepared to brave those elements, before we go into the next 2 weeks, I want you to make a wish. This wish isn't even tied to a specific transit. It's just so that we can remind ourselves of the power we have collectively. There's 373 people right now. Okay. As we release this intention, I want you to make a wish about how you'd feel when you receive the wish. So that's not the right way to say it. I want you to make a wish right now I want you to make a wish that you want to come true right now, that you want to come true in a week when we finish Capricorn season, and that by the time we activate the new moon, we'll be active. So really short term and long term. You don't even have to have three. What's one thing you want to see now? Because when you make this wish, you're going to feel it as if it's already done now. But the purpose of this energy experiment is to show you that 370 plus people who also wish for your wish to come true as you wish for their wish to come true, this is going to have you feel your godly power, the collective power of how we can make decisions and experience them real time. So I want you to make a wish that as soon as we end this broadcast is going to come true immediately. And I want you to make a wish that by the time we come back in 2 weeks for the new moon has come true. If it doesn't come true, don't beat yourself up, because the purpose of this energy experiment is for you to actually just feel it like it's real and to monitor what happens. Maybe in 2 weeks, you may realize, oh, it did come true that day. But the purpose of it, if you felt this decision, wish, intention throughout the 2 weeks, whether you saw it or not, you win. You've made it. All right. Some of you'll instantly manifest it, but I don't want you to be so caught up in expecting to see it till you believe it, because then you're giving your power away externally. And some people might think that's woo-woo. That's cool. It's an experiment. So just try it with me. Okay. So that being said, what the fuck do I wish for that could happen now? And Fiona, this is beautiful. You don't have to have a specific wish. The first thing I want all you guys to do is to feel satisfaction. Now that we're harvesting this, what does satisfaction feel like to you? If you were fully satisfied. So right now we're going to do this. I know I said there's going to be a ritual. I lied. We're going to do a ritual. All right. Right now, I want you to feel satisfaction. I want you to feel like every wish you ever had has come true. Okay. I want you to feel like you're the most satisfied you've ever felt, ever. Okay. Because like Katie said, it's already yours. And please, guys, how incredible would you feel If your higher self was so badass, it's like, oh, you want this? All right, I'm going to work ahead of space and time for you to position you to get it. And you walk around knowing, oh, I decided my higher self is on it. My angels are on it. I'm going to get what I wanted. And if I don't get that, I'm going to get something better that fits more into what I feel I wanted. And I walk around knowing it's already mine. I'm not worrying about when it happens because I know it's going to happen at just the right. I know that I want it like in 5 minutes, but my higher self knows that if it happens in 2 hours from now, it's going to be better, right? So I'm not worried about when because I know it's already mine. It's that knowing. It's not even the belief. It's the knowing that makes it happen. It's the wavering of why hasn't it happened yet that's confusing the language. You can't say you have it. And then if you say, why isn't it here yet? You're saying you don't have it. So I want you to feel satisfaction. Feel it. And that's okay if some of you don't feel anything. Take your time. Just think on things that satisfy you. You don't even have to feel it. You could just decide I'm satisfied fully. Okay. Now, here's the warning. The dark ass forces, whether they play through real people or not, they're going to be very jealous and envious. That unlike them who have to seek external things, like we've kind of realized throughout the last year, a lot of you are beefing with people who have more money than you, more, no one has more money than us, more perceived money than you, more followers than you, more clout than you, and they're jealous of you. And it's like, why would they be jealous of me? Why you have all this stuff? It's because you've established that you are actually authentic, that you don't need all this external stuff. A lot of you have established that with a fraction of what other people have, you're chilling. Like if many people were in your position, they'd be miserable, but you're actually happy. Meanwhile, them with all of this stuff, they're miserable. They still need more. These type of people are insanely jealous of you. That's why they have to feel better than you, because they have to justify that all this stuff actually, all the stuff they put in actually means something where you didn't even have to do twice or half the work to just come in and really bring this aura, have people really be attracted to you. All right. So when you feel this satisfaction, what we're going to do after we end the broadcast, all you have to do is draw this satisfaction to the new moon in Aquarius. In between, over the next 2 weeks, you're going to feel more heightened attack than ever to make you feel like shit. Because now your satisfaction is going to impose a counter frequency. It's going to attract those who align with your satisfaction, but like an RPG, it's also going to attract enemy frequencies that want to beat you out of the satisfaction. Now, honor that. In fact, this psychic attack is the best thing that ever happened to you because it is actively challenging you with that pressure to maintain this satisfaction, where it doesn't matter who thinks what and what they call you. I feel good. Da, 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 da. Okay, that was corny. But like you feel good. You're calling in that energy. Out of being terrified. This is what they're going to try and manipulate you out of. Fear tactics will be played, attempts to embarrass you, you know what I'm saying? And all you're going to do is feel even more satisfied. Oh, that's how you feel? I like that. Oh, I feel even better. This is going to drive them crazy. Extra points if you start to see. Some of you are starting to see this in real people who you're connecting with who pick up on that frequency. All right. Whether they reflect it, and that doesn't have to be anything personal to you. You could just quite literally be tapping into it. Okay. So with that being said, all right, let's feel satisfaction. I want you to feel as satisfied as you ever felt. The first part of this is nothing outside of yourself can make you feel like this. The fact that you can feel this right now means that you give it to yourself. It took me my whole life to accept this because every time I heard this in my 20s, I'm like, I don't need to hear this pseudo motivational crap. You know what I mean? It took me forever to get it. Like, I'm just like, fuck that. I want it first. Then I can feel it. I was very stubborn like that. And then I realized I've been giving my power away my entire life. And that's the most dangerous position you can be in. Once I took my power back and I realized, yeah, I can desire things, but I'm going to feel satisfied about it now, ahead of time. Like, oh, yeah, I decided I want that. Things not only started just coming instantly, but not only did I take my power back, but then I realized that my external situations don't manipulate me anymore. They don't influence me anymore. If things don't work out the way that I want, I still feel satisfied because it's me, because it's you, because we're directly connected. You know what I'm saying? To the source. I don't need any, and it may take a while to get there. For others of you, it could take instantly. You got the power. When you feel that, now you're emitting the frequency with which you can allow it. There's space there, right? So I want you to feel that. Okay. I want you to just take the time to imagine everything that you want right now that you already have. Okay. Nice. And once you feel that, you have just been permitted entry to this exclusive club, Club Infinity, Club Forever. Okay. I want you to imagine you're walking in the club right now. The bouncer stops you and they want the ticket in. That's this feeling of satisfaction. That's it. Club Forever, Club Paradise Forever, whatever you want to call it. Boof. You hear the music. All right. You feel that satisfaction. Now, hold on. In order for you to stay in this club, you need to stay feeling the satisfaction. It's like a margin if you do day trading, right? If you want to trade a future, you have to have the margin. The moment you go underneath that margin, you get auto liquidated, right? So the moment you start being, because we don't want no depressed people in this club. We only have happy people in this club. So the moment you forget you have the power and you start giving your power away and you start feeling sad, you get the bouncers kicking you out this club. Like, hey, feel right and we'll let you back in. So once you enter this club, you are making the decision that you feel satisfaction. That being said, you're going to go through things that may knock you off balance. All right. Feeling satisfaction doesn't mean that I have to fake being happy. You can still feel emotions. So when you have thoughts and you feel emotions, let them flow through. If somebody pisses you off or if you feel something that makes you really sad, feel that emotion. Feel that sadness, but let it go. Feel it and then let it pass and then go right back to feeling satisfied. And that might be challenging, but you don't necessarily want to stay off that position. Pick yourself back up and remember what fucking time it is. It's satisfaction time. You're over the next couple of months going to receive every single thing you put in the work to sell. That's literally the angle we have right now. All right. With Saturn and Neptune, the Saturn totality brings in everything. That's why it's everything. And it's every fantasy you could have ever had. And I know it might seem unbelievable. For some of you, you know what time it is. And yes, so feel that feeling. Take the time to feel that. Now we're in the club. So now that we're in the club, 360 plus people who are feeling this satisfaction, we are connected with. You can even set the intention. I set the intention to connect with everyone else I'm in this club with. But merely just feeling this sense of satisfaction has now connected us all. Now, I want you to, in your mind's eye, while you're in this club connecting with us all, 367 plus people, I want you to feel, what is it that when you walk out of this broadcast, you will have instantly manifested? I want you to feel satisfaction for that right now. Woo! And you'll know you do it right because you feel that energy. Ooh, that feels good. That's this moon in Cancer. Because when the moon goes over Mars, you're going to feel exactly what to do to begin to take action off of that. even if it's just what to feel and feeling that desire. Okay. So good. We feel it. It could be one thing, two things, three things. You're in club infinity. So it could be infinite things. It could be forever. In fact, after we end the broadcast, you can just keep adding stuff you feel. You're not limited, but nice. Super felt that. Now I want you to feel something in the long term. So we have the short-term wish that doesn't have a time limit, but we are just deciding delusionally so that it's already here. And then I want you to feel something over the long term, years from now, that you will have accomplished, and feel it. Woo, I felt that. And you're not going to feel that it'll happen later. You're going to feel that it's already achieved now. You're just allowing everything that's a part of it to come through. Okay. Even if it just comes now. Boom. I have that feeling on lock. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Find me in the club. Okay. So now this feeling is a currency. And you can edit this feeling. You can add to this feeling, amplify this feeling. Okay. And thank you guys. You guys are fucking amazing. All right. Part of what I'm feeling in my wish is we're all rocking out. In fact, now that we have our individual wish, here's our collective wish that's going to connect us even more. I wish that all of us in this broadcast right now, we make our way to each other, that we facilitate a convention coming soon where we're all in here and we all expenses paid, and we're all talking with each other, everything we're imagining now. Okay, I want you to imagine that we all meet each other and we have the best time ever. So this wish is connecting our individual wish into everything. Okay. And now, and I want you to show up. I want you to imagine yourself at this convention as the person who has received everything you've wished for. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay. All right. So now this energy of what this feels like, we're going to be cultivating. I want you to stay in this feeling of satisfaction. With this feeling of satisfaction, in this state, I want you to feel and set the intention and release the intention, right? I'm going to count down from 5. We're going to say, I wish, intend, and or decide that every single person else in this live chat who's watching this video before or after, their wish comes true right now. That's it. So you're about to have, in 5 seconds, 360 plus people set the intention for your wish with the feelings they just cultivated right now to come true now. This is why you're going to get instant results with this. All right. And then in 2 weeks, when we do the new moon in Aquarius ceremony, we're going to party for how, of course, we already knowing the realization of our intent. So are you ready? You can say this in your own words. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We believe, wish, decide, and set the intention and feel that every single person in this chat's feelings and wishes come true right now, and they will maintain and build this satisfaction to even greater depths. And so it is. Woo! And now we can release it. That's it. That's it. I do have the, if you look at the description box below, I do have the Ultimate Manifestation playlist. I'm going to be adding a video to that right now. Sammy Ingram just dropped a video about states. I think that's pretty cool. So I'm going to freaking add that there. Okay. And I definitely want you to check out that first video with the power of I am. your I amness. And that's it. We are going to do a quick pick a card reading. I totally got you. And then tomorrow we're going to actually do the pick a card reading for Tuesday. So basically, now that we've done this, whenever the thought comes to mind about what you want, feel satisfaction. Your mission, should you choose to accept for really the rest of this zodiac year coming into Aries season, is to feel satisfaction. That's it. Can you feel good? That's all you have to do. And now anybody who out of integrity is trying to get in your way of feeling good is an enemy. I don't care how close they are to you. You have to treat them as such. You're going to come across people who get in the way of how you feel good because they want to challenge you. They want to make sure it's in integrity. Keep those people close to you because they care about you. But then you're going to have people who just want to play contrarian to you, and they don't want to see you happy. Like whether they may not even be conscious of this. Maybe they are conscious of this, and murk them where they stand because this war, because they'll murk you. So like they'll try to murk you. So you might as well murk them. And you can murk them by just feeling good. That's it. You can literally kill them by just feeling good, just maintaining. And you don't have to murder them. Just feel good about what you want. Feel it like it's here. It's okay to be delusional. You kind of have to be, since you're already hallucinating. And Mo, this is a really good feeling. You lost your intuitive sense because you're upgrading it. What you used to sense intuitively, you're on a whole nother level. So you're building a whole new sense around it. And you feeling lost means you're growing. So that's a really good feeling. It's a really, really good feeling. We need to sometimes feel lost so we can find ourselves again. And that's what we're doing collectively. Touch this satisfaction. You feel me? So that's it. All you have to do moving forward is just feel what you've wished for as is now. Just already feeling satisfaction. Nice. It's so ridiculously simple. You said on your video on I can't find it. I got you. Let me show you what that is. So if you go to the playlist, Ultimate Manifestation playlist, The Power of I Am, it's the very first video. I highly recommend you watch this video. Trust me. Okay. I just added, oh no way, I thought I just added it. All right, let me do it again. What the hell? Oh. Okay. All right, so I want to make sure it actually adds on here real quick. All right, it's up. So if I refresh this, you'll see it has 12 videos now. Everything is just a state. There we go. Do you have to watch all of them? Watch whatever comes to mind. I highly recommend that very first video. It's so good. It's very good. And his channel is fire too. His channel is really dope. So yeah, yo. Now we're gonna go into the next 2 weeks. Once again, how to without or the whole playlist. You can do whichever. You can do whichever. In this case, the very first one is the only homework I recommend you watch. If you haven't watched it, watch that first video. If there's only one video to watch, it'll just click you in the gear, just remind you what time it is now. Okay. So that's it. All you have to do was feel good about everything you know you are manifesting and manifested. Okay. And yeah. So, and just feel it like you already have it. That's it. Feel it like it's already here. Okay. So I'm going to go over what to expect the next 2 weeks. And then we'll do this. We'll close with this pick a card reading. So right off the bat, the moon is going to conjunct Mars today. And this is going to really charge how much more powerfully you can feel these desires. This is going to open up more understanding of how you are actively harvesting these universal abilities. Or should I say powers? Boom. Then the moon's going to go into Leo. The direction we felt forward in, we're going to strengthen that feeling. We're going to integrate it socially. How do we bring this satisfaction on stage? How, when dealing with others socially, do we hold the courage of what we want and not let it be deterred by other weak little bitches who will try and kind of like peer pressure you out of it because they're insecure and they want you to come down to their level. All right. This in maintaining is going to attract you and you attract to them people who resonate with this alignment. Okay. Because with the Scorpio signature we're going to have, this is going to begin to transform your awareness of what power you're harvesting by feeling much stronger into it. All right. It's going to yod this transformation of the direction we organize this power and the divine perspective we imagine we take it so we can adjust how much stronger we feel into it. All right. Then the moon is going to go into Virgo, and the opposition to Saturn and square to Jupiter will begin to adjust how you analyze the details of what you're harvesting, right? By changing your thought process and beliefs around it, because you're actually really experiencing it. And of course, that trine at the end of this transit is going to 9th house of Capricorn, have you see the facts. You're going to see what's factual about this power you've harvested. Then the moon's going to go into Libra. You're going to direct how you socially express it as we awaken this new knowledge. Like this entire 2-week cycle is it, y'all. I'm going to keep saying that about future trends, but this, it's carrying that it energy. Like it's the news cycles are going to increase in drama, and it's going to be like watching a television show and setting things up. So if I can use that analogy of finding the new player one, let me tell you how difficult this is going to be. Because 1996, Pokemon aired. Finding the new Ready Player One is gonna be as difficult as finding the new face for Pokemon, because now 2026 is gonna be the 30th anniversary, right? And Ash has already finished his adventure. Like, you associate Ash Ketchum and Pikachu to Pokemon. They're the face of the brand, right? But who's going to be the new face? Who's going to be the new person going on an adventure? Is it going to be a little girl? Are they going to appeal to the woman demographic and be like, okay, now it's about woman power, or we should be more diverse and representative? Is it still going to be a male? Is it going to be the same race, color? And I don't care. I don't really care. I'm just showing you this is the next question. The corporation is asking, who's going to be the next face of the brand? It's not going to be Pikachu anymore. Who's going to be the next Pokemon that's going to carry this franchise forward? It's a huge deal. Because we're so used to Ash and Pikachu. Well, Ash then gone on a huge adventure over 30 years, finally became a Pokemon master and champion, and he's still 15. And we need a new face. We need someone else to carry on. This is what we're going to see in every single facet of society coming into the rest of the decade, starting this year and next year. We are getting ready to move forward with that new face. Okay. Now, what that means for us individually is there is a self individual in all of us. We're moving forward with a new face. We're moving forward with a new way we're expressing ourselves as well in relation to what kind of encapsulates, what this is. Are they going to bring in transhumanistic agendas? Are we going to go backwards and maybe be more prejudiced and racist than we have? Like, there's so many different facets that make this a very exciting, compelling, and powerful narrative and conflict. So by the time we get to this moon in Virgo, right, everything that you're harvesting right now, you're going to come to a powerfully detailed understanding of how specifically it is you have awakened this perspective. And not only how specifically it is you have harvested this power to prepare to awaken the perspective, okay, but also, that video I just recommended, the channel owner just uploaded a new video 34 minutes ago. So you can check that out too. Here's the reason it has no choice but to manifest. I'm gonna watch that after I leave from this. This looks like it's gonna be fire. Should be the last. So there should be 13 videos on there now. All right, that being said, right, once we cross the threshold from here, it's a new frontier, baby. Boom, the moon's gonna be in Libra. We're now going to direct this analytical perspective of understanding how it is this works. And now, as we're aware of the higher advanced knowledge of what it is, we're going to be applying this perspective cardinally through feeling what we do socially with it. Okay. Extending the range of this 9th house site to where we activate this awakening. And then boom, we effectively start Aquarius season like we started Capricorn with the 3rd quarter square. Okay. And with this 3rd quarter square, this is taking the power. So before, we took the magic, we activated it, and we converted it into power, into a direction through Capricorn, right? We activated this new magical perspective where we can see even farther, right? Or we see, oh, we should go this way. We converted it to now moving in this direction. Now we're converting the power of us empowering this integrity into energy and strength, because power generates energy, all right? So the God power we activated with the cycle is now becoming supernatural cosmic energy, right? The power of integrity manifests knowledge, which manifests belief in Pisces, the perspective of belief based on the fixed knowledge, the quality of knowledge we have. So the moon in Scorpio is going to not only complete this harvest, but it's going to convert the sincere individual feelings you have to now a social understanding of purely intense emotions, the wisdom that now influences the knowledge you have just awakened the next 20-year cycle of. Huge. This is also going to sextile the North Node in Aries, officially concluding on that North Node Aries chapter we started. Coming into the rewards. So these rewards, you have just unlocked a brand new direction of your character. You're going to begin to complete it by being aware of all the tribe you're meant to be around. This is going to awaken your tribe, awaken your circle who's awakening supernatural quality like you are. At a frequency level, because you've taken an independent direction towards maintaining authenticity. That direction has led you to this Aquarius season where you're going to be with people who you support and they support you. To the detriment of those who wanted to prey on you, feeling like you were alone and feeling like they could manipulate you. Who are in for the rudest awakening. The next 20 years is the rudest awakening in human history. I'm calling it now. All right. For every culture. The moon in Scorpio in now grand water trining Mars, Saturn, and Neptune are going to intensify the depth of emotion that go into you reinforcing these beliefs with which you will feel how you drive these shifts in beliefs. Okay. Then we're going to have the moon in Sagittarius. And let's not forget the opposition to Uranus. I will innovate this. The moon in Sagittarius is going to show you who's in your corner. It's going to show you where you are awakening this force and knowledge towards. And who you see is not only meant to be around you, but whereas the moon in Virgo adjusted our perception, now we're going to synthesize the interpretation of this analysis, understand the meaning of this knowledge we're awakening, how this completes the beliefs we had 3 weeks ago, and harvest this change of thought process with further analysis and insight, and now seeing what it looks like. Okay. That's going to further be extended to Neptune here, applying this to how we imagine deeper, showing us unseen metaphysical principles and being able to see beyond that, preparing for Mercury to now also awaken our brains through this balsamic phase as the moon will also be here. Look at that. Mercury, Pluto, Sun, Moon. This is it, guys. This next 2-week sequence and the 2-week sequence after this, nuts, ridiculous. The North Node will be 0 degrees. I know some people are using the mean nodes. I use the true nodes. The true nodes after this new moon will officially move into Pisces. So I know some people are saying the North Node's already in Pisces. That's because they're using the mean nodes, the average nodes. And for what it's worth, it's in Pisces. It's going to retrograde back into Aries and go to Pisces, retrograde back. This is why I just use the true nodes. So like basically, this is that date, that new moon in Aquarius, which is nuts, where it's finally officially done in Aries. And we're going to spark this new moon transit entering the most faded rabbit hole ever. Oh, there's no number for it. Great question. The true nodes, actually, this is off of horoscope Astro.com. They just use the true nodes. So the nodes that are used, like you see on this corner right here, you can see that the node is in Pisces. And in fact, it looks like that's the true nodes. So I take that back. The true nodes are in Pisces at this period. The mean nodes are what I'm using. So well, I use the true nodes in charts, but this actual chart calculator is using the mean nodes that I was thinking was the true nodes. So if we actually look right now, the true nodes are in Pisces. The true node just entered Pisces. It's just showing us the mean nodes here. That's direct and the retrograde, or it looks like these are retrograde. So it is what it is. But yeah, basically it's negligible. Like they kind of look they're so close to each other. One just doesn't really go back and forth, and the other just calculates the average and pushes it forward. But regardless, you know, that's the story. Over the next 2 weeks, we're going to wrap up the end of a cycle that, you know, shaped so much beliefs of our culture as we begin to pioneer and break through out of that and create the new world with Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and Gen Beta. Generation Beta are a bunch of evil baby geniuses that if you decide to give birth to, I mean, you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. You're giving birth to children that by their terrible twos will never listen to you again. Because now they have Chat GPT that can basically, by the time they talk, equip their teenage rebellion phase against you, as they basically ridicule every previous generation as being beneath them. Like, I don't know why we're here. I don't know why we would do this. It is what it is. Like, do you want to give birth to a baby that'll telepathically talk shit to you before it can even speak the language that you're going to teach it? I don't have that level of humility. I am not above fighting my 3-year-old because you just talking too softly. For those of you who have patience, then good luck. Okay, because Generation Alpha is already coming into their teens, and good luck with that. So yeah, what year is that? 2024 to 2044. Okay, if Gen Alpha had iPads, this generation has fully functional AI. It's the end of the world, y'all. I don't know what else to say. It is what it is. This is their world. This isn't our world. This is their world. We're stepping into their world. There's a new generation of children who own this world already. It's their world we're stepping into. And at least in our generation, like the older generation was able to, the older gen was able to act like millennials are still babies. Not this next gen. They're not playing that shit. So like it is what it is, man. It is what it is, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this. We're gonna close this out with the pick a card reading. Okay, so we're going to look into what you're harvesting, the results of your wish, and then the outcome coming into the next 2 weeks. Okay, and thank you guys. This was really awesome. Definitely much needed. Oh, Gen Beta started 2025 and not 2024. That works too. Some people will give a 2025 start date. I'm cool with that. For me, I'm just equating Gen Beta to Pluto Aquarius. They don't use astrology, but they do overlap. The generations that the mainstream uses actually somewhat coincidentally aligns with Pluto transits, give or take a year or two out. But yeah, we'll have 3 piles: pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. 3 cards of 3 piles. One, two, 3. Underlying theme here we have is the Fool card. I can't make this up. Wow. This is literally talking about a brand new frontier. The Fool card. You're awakening a higher level of yourself that has never been established in like postmodern science and ancient science. Like the Fool card is saying everything that you've ever been conditioned to believe and have been taught, it's time to throw it in the trash because you're going on a brand new adventure. You're only bringing Pikachu with you on this new Pokemon adventure. You know what I'm saying? Like all the Pokemon that you ever caught, they're with Professor Oak now. We're going to explore a brand new region. All right. The Fool card is literally saying keep an open mind here because this is a brand new paradigm that we are effectively stepping into with this Sun-Pluto conjunction. And it's going to require not only an open mind, but, the knowledge that we're stepping into a brand new cycle. The Fool is a 0 card. You finished with the world of the previous adventure. It's time to go in on a new adventure. And in approaching it like that and not having to try and figure everything out, that's what this whole live has been about. That's what I'm saying. The cards are carding. That's crazy. And, it's definitely going to be pretty awesome. All right. Allow the miserable and insecure to project on you. They're only doing so because they don't have the power you have within you. So they're envious and jealous. They're going to pretend like they're not. But if they were secure in themselves, they'd be helping build you up, not try to tear you down. Bars, because these are just facts. Okay. And listen, some people are evil, bro. Like some people only live to just express negativity, gossip, They may not even be aware. They could be like a fish in water. They probably don't even feel like what they're doing is evil, but everything they emanate, their fruit is just nasty. It's disgusting. It's a cesspit. It's a cesspool. And these are the type of influences that are going to feel the deepest insecure around you, because you don't even need a fraction of what they have to actually feel good about yourself. And you are actually loved by God. So yes, pile uno. The first card we have here, okay, is going to represent pile one. What are you harvesting during this full moon? Judgment, baby. This is the Sun Pluto Aquarius conjunction. You're harvesting an extreme awakening of your life, of your purpose, and of your plans. As they say, God laughs at our plans. You're going to make the plans and God will guide your step. All right. But you're coming into a return and ridiculous deep awakening of everything you're meant to do. What this is going to feel like is you're going to recap and have a flashback episode of everything that you have gone through to get to this point. And that's going to really help you accept at a deeper level what you're meant to do. What I'm picking up for you, Pile One, that just came in intuitively or from within, is that spirit or the universe has already revealed this to you 20 years ago, 10 years ago, but it's almost as like, thank you, Vera. It's almost as like you didn't really accept it. You believed it was possible, but me, no, I couldn't do something like that. And then it got introduced to you again, and you believed it's more possible, but you felt like maybe you weren't there. It's time. You were always ready. Let's go. And remember, Fool card, keep an open mind, new adventure. Something that maybe, because you probably listened to judgment and, gaslighting from others, it was hard for you to believe, where now you can accept it was always true about you the whole time, that you are meant for this. That I think, okay, what I'm also picking up is I think some of you had accepted the lie that anybody else could do this but you. And the universe was laughing heavy. You know what I mean? Like, there's nobody else on the planet who could do what you're destined to do but you. All right. I think maybe you may have tried to downplay the significance of this and feel like it's just an archetype. Anyone can accomplish this. No, not anyone is you. You were born ready. You feel me? So this is just going to really deepen this acceptance of what you're here to do and how you do it. And so for this wish, this intention, this satisfaction that you are feeling, what's the result and lesson around it? We have the star. You're a superstar. This is what you're meant to be. I feel like it was very hard for some of you to accept that you're meant to be a global icon, that you're meant to change the way people look at faith. And that's where it's like, I think maybe you were comparing yourself to other people who are famous, and you're looking at how they, deal with fame. You're looking at how they deal with a lot of people, and you couldn't see yourself in that box. It's because you exist beyond that. It's before you, after you. Okay. This wish you just made, this is literally the dream come true, wish come true. So like, move forward in satisfaction, knowing that you're her, you're him, you're really like that. Shout out to Nezuko. Can't wait for the Infinity Castle movie. It's going to be fire. All right. And a lot of this is literally not even faking it till you make it. Accept it. There's nothing you have to know how to do. It's you. You're this. You don't have to be somebody to get here. It's you who's this. All right. It's you who's coming into this influence, who's coming into this rejuvenation and inspiration. So that's really the guidance around this. Please know that you can't miss what's meant for you. And these are the results. The results is this insane level of recognition you are meant to really pioneer. All right. And the outcome we have is the moon, baby. So the moon is you walking the beat of your own drum. It's you being fully aligned with your dreams and your subconscious mind. And with the star, it adds this subjective, subtle sense of, you know, not just your spiritual gifts and the supernatural and your psychic abilities, but this subjective sense of your own perspective, where certain experiences will only make sense to you, like kind of a Doctor Strange-esque thing where you can realistically be in mirror dimensions, but nobody really understands you were there. Like it's really breaking through the boundaries and awakening the boundaries of supernatural aspects of your own subconscious mind and dream, and also working from home. Absolutely. So the moon card is going to really break you away from established traditions that everyone feels like you have to do, because that's just how the world is. And then there's you doing things your own way, creating your own holidays, inspiring people all around the world to really get, you know, exist in a way that isn't so much about being unique, but you're not having to do because other people are doing it and you're expected to do it. You know, this could be like working at a time where everyone's asleep and it works perfectly for you. And you could be asleep while everyone's awake, but that's just how you live your life. You know what I mean? So it's sustainable, it's successful, and that's beautiful. Pile dose. Okay. Ooh. Pile 2. Unconventional is the word. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. So what do we have for you, Pile 2? Yes, sir. All right, Pile Dose. Appreciate you. Yeah, you're right. That's so true. All right. So what are you harvesting, Pile 2? We have justice. Okay. What you're harvesting is not only obviously balance, but much needed justice. Chances are, if you pick Pile 2, you may not necessarily even be aware about ways with which you've been wronged. Maybe you're just so focused on making sure you don't do wrong. Not like you're a goody two shoes either, just, you know, basic respect, that you may not even be aware of how others have done you wrong. So what you're going to harvest, because you're awakening this power, is people who have done you wrong. They're rectifying that. They're making sure you're on the same page. If people randomly apologize to you, although what's really going to happen is they're going to get their goddamn karma. Okay, the scales of justice are going to balance in your favor because you walk in integrity, and so you're on the right side of justice. Okay, this is definitely going to also make sure your paperwork is right. For any of you in legal issues or matters, you're going to harvest great victory. Some of you may be in legal situations where you were given an answer that's favorable or unfavorable, but now something outside of that or through that you may not have seen will actually come to reverse an unfavorable decision or add on to a favorable decision. Okay. The justice card through here is also speaking on making a very important decision that will affect the way you connect with others and move forward, period. So once again, it's this aspect of course, you know, being on the same page with people. I think it's going to kind of, if anything, reset and have you verbally or in written form write contracts with people, the way you make agreements. A lot of these contracts are going to be unspoken and verbal, like a way that you wish to treat each other. And I think that's going to be beautiful. The wish that we've made, okay, the wish you made, the results of that is the sun, baby. Happiness. Now I really like that because both pile 1 and pile 2 directly got satisfaction cards. Given that this wish was to be satisfied, the way pile 1's going to be satisfied is their dreams coming true and them being, you know, recognized. The way pile 2 is going to be satisfied is just being filled with unadulterated joy and main character energy. Okay, this is you shining that light of satisfaction, sharing that satisfaction. It's not enough for you to just be happy about what you've received. It's sharing that happiness with others. It's truth coming to light now that we have this balance established and this justice established. So I think both you and pile 1 are in to receive extremely good news. And that light is going to really piss off those dark forces who operate in darkness, will never really be upfront with you about how they feel or resolve it, but they won't have to because it's going to be burned to a cinder by this light. Okay, but the sun is looking really positive. Very happy, very happy. I think over the next 2 weeks, you're going to come into satisfaction that brings so much joy. And the outcome we have is the Emperor, baby. Okay. So whereas pile 1 is going to be just so much more aligned with the deepest facets of themselves and a vision that no one else can see but them, pile 2, you're going to get your shit together more than you've already had your shit together. In fact, if you pick this pile, you already have your shit together. This is just going to provide so much more authority and established power to stand on, which is very powerful to come with the sun and justice, because it's like your own self executing authority where you don't even need to be ruled by in courts because you already took care of that, right? It's very beautiful because, yeah, you're going to come into this happiness, but you have the discipline to stand on that and maintain that authority to where it's not going anywhere. You're traveling with it, you are it, right? So that's really beautiful. Lots of power. The outcome of this is you moving forward more boldly and more powerfully than you ever had before. Okay. And last but not the least, we have pile 3. So what is it that you are harvesting? What power are you harvesting? We have the Devil card, baby. Okay. Now, this is very significant because this is your power you're harvesting. So the Devil card is materialistic success in this context, irresistible sexiness, and for some of you, working in the underworld. Some of you could be making dirty money, but that doesn't mean you're dirty. The Devil card is definitely requiring of much more maturity. You're going to harvest full liberation from your shadow side. This is like being born again, where you're not chained by the addictions of material things that chain you to them because you feel like you need them in order to feel good about yourself. This is full domain and control over these dark forces. Some of you, though, it's employing a seductive power. Like, I don't want to attach a warning to this, but like the Devil card is when you're swimming in dough, are you going to spend all that money on all these addictions you're enabling? Or are you going to rise above that and make this work for you? Okay. So the satisfaction you have wished for, right? Yes, that definitely counts. Negotiable instruments. But I would say in learning to use negotiable instruments with the devil card, you're able to counter, those who try and finesse you, right? The devil card is you can't finesse a finesser. So it's like you have the street smarts to deal with these characters. And if anything, have them under your command instead of them taking advantage of you. Now, the results of this satisfaction you're feeling is the strength card, and that's beautiful. So pile 1 got the star, pile 2 got the sun, and pile 3 got strength. This satisfaction is going to infinitely multiply your satisfaction and your energy. This is going to be expressed through infinite energy. The satisfaction is going to come through as a result of fully investing yourself in your passions and everything that gives you excitement, everything that you love, everything that you enjoy. All right. Fun and frolics, mastery over sexual lust. It's even more interesting because the devil card and the strength card is a sex addiction. So this could literally just represent having some of the best mind-blowing sex you've ever had with a committed partner, with maybe, friends with benefits. It doesn't matter who. This could even just represent your sexual expression, that while carnal still masters that lust that was previously cultivated. All right. And through old conditioning, you don't necessarily feel ashamed to actually tap into lust. But you just don't let that lust take you over. Okay. And the outcome we have is the world, of course, pile 3. Here we go with the finale. The world card is definitely speaking of as an outcome for this total and full fulfillment. Some of you might be a cartel leader. If you pick this pile, we see you. We see you. Yeah. All right, yo. So fulfillment, completion, success, you've graduated. And the reason why this is so significant is the underlying theme is the Fool. So we had the first card and the last card. You finished an entire journey, and you're going to take everything you've completed here to now go on and embark on a new journey, but now fulfilled, satisfied, and completed, my friend. So stay tuned tomorrow where we'll do the actual pick a card reading, exclusive pick a card reading for Capricorn season. I just looked into this new passion.io. I was looking into Uscreen to do like to have the app and like basically just move all my content there. I'm still going to go out on YouTube, but I found this passion.io. Check it out if you want to also do this too. It's much more affordable. So yeah, I'm looking forward into that. And I do plan to launch that Cancer season, late June into July. So look forward to that. I'll be producing material until then. World War Zero season 2 and 3. I've actually halted production so that I could just get all that ready, put that all on the app, and then on YouTube, I'll just schedule videos here and there. But if you want to watch all of it and binge watch it, you can join the app. If you're a YouTube member, we'll segue all into that app so that you're not having to pay 2 memberships. If you're a YouTube member, if I'm able to do it to where you can get a membership there or just convert it, you can. Maybe even if you just get the first month free or anything. But yeah, you guys stay blessed. Hit the like on your way out. Once again, your mission, should you choose to accept, is to feel satisfaction, because why wouldn't you feel good? You're incredible. You're amazing. You're awesome. And yeah, until next time.